Today we're going to be going over Thrice's song, Come All You Weary.
Rest for your soul.
Alright, first we just want to preface and say that Dustin and Tepe are both playing this song full step down, tuned to full step down in D standard, and the song is in 6/8 time. So first things first, starting off in the intro, he only uses a few different chord positions in the whole song. He uses an E minor form. Then he goes to an E minor chord using a C minor position. We're going to be playing your ring finger on the 7th fret, index on the 5th. Goes to a D using a C major position. Now your ring is going to slide back to the 5th fret, and your middle finger is going to be on the 4th on the D string. And you're going to slide up to an F sharp minor with your ring finger on the 9th fret, index on the 7th fret of the D string. These chords are all relative to the formation. They're not the actual names of the chords. Everything would be a full step down if you were to translate it. So he plays the E minor, slides up to the next E minor form. You're going to keep your ring finger on the A string the entire time. You're just going to slide it around and shift formations. So each chord is going to get a half a measure, and it's going to sound like this. He continues to play that through the intro, and Tepe comes in on the lead. Once it gets into the verse, the first verse, he does the same progression. He does E minor to the E minor up here to a D to an F sharp. Then he goes back E minor, and then holds on the D for a whole measure. Does this original pattern again to the F sharp. And then the fourth and final time, he does the E up to the E again, D, and then ends on the E minor, original E minor form. And then the pattern starts over again, and he does an instrumental. The second verse, he does E minor to E minor, hold the D for a full measure the first time through, E minor, D to F sharp, E to E minor again, holds the D for a full measure again, E minor, D, back down to the original E minor form. After that, he's going to go into the chorus. The chorus, he just does an A minor position for 5 beats, and then on the 6th, he's going to play G over B form. You're just going to put your index finger up, your middle finger up on the 2nd fret of the A string, and walk it up to the C, just a regular C major form, and that gets a full measure. So it repeats that once. Play through it one time, do it again. This time the C gets a half measure, and then you slide the form up and a whole step to a D for another half measure, and then it goes back into the intro progression. Going into the third verse, it switches it up a little bit. He just goes from an E minor for a full measure to a D for a full measure. He goes back and forth to a D again, E minor to a D, for full measure on the last time, to a D for half, and then back to E minor for a half. The 4th time through the progression in the 3rd verse. Then he goes back into the chorus again. A minor, G over B to C, A minor, G over B, C to the D, and then he goes in, plays an E minor. Then it goes into an instrumental portion where again he goes into a little lead on the acoustic. He's going to play the 6th fret on the high E string to the 7th fret, then the 5th on the B, and slide up to the 8th on the B, to the 10th, 5th, 3rd, and then he builds into a D chord, prefacing another chorus. So then he goes back into another chorus. The lead in real time is going to sound like this. The chorus, this time he's going to play through 4 times, and then on the 4th time you're going to go from the C to the D. So the first 3 are just going to be A minor, G over B to C, and then on the very last one, the 4th time, is A minor, G over B, C to the D, and then he goes into the outro, which he plays a few times, is the same chord progression as the intro. ends the song in an E minor. Alright, so have fun.